So with that, I thank you for listening. I hope I've kind of cut down to the chase of it, but because I'll be followed by Ken here, I wanted to give that opportunity to have some of this dialogue with you. I came as much to listen and to hear from you as well about what your experiences have been in interactions between these groups, and to answer any other questions you have about the grassroots movements and relationship with the party. Pam.
I have to give our Republican organization here in Henderson County and our Tea Parties and our Christian Coalition a great deal of credit for having gotten the jump on that during the past election. We sat down, we had a coalition, we talked about the things we agreed on. I am pretty sure there are people there that could have gotten into rabid arguments about this or that. You know, if we had been talking about Agenda 21, we would have fallen apart into little shreds. But we didn't. We focused on the things we agreed on. We know you're preaching to the choir. What can we do to spread it around?
The biggest part of having that productive conversation is first having the willingness to have it. And the second part is learning the art of having it. Well, I think it was Ann Coulter wrote a book, you know, How to Talk to a Liberal If You Must.
Yeah, she's good.
As if it was an option. Because eventually we have to enhance our skills in having that conversation. I know parents who have, conservative parents who have liberal children who cannot have a productive conversation and persuade them of why their view is wrong. The little booklet that I brought is a collection of things I posted on Facebook, and over the last couple of years, some of them were just a thought for the day. Most of it's just old wisdom regurgitated in a little bit more modern language. Others are from the files of, and one of them in there is, the hardest part of any argument is convincing the other person they're wrong.
Yeah, that's true.
Got a lot of married people in here, huh? I think the outreach will be enhanced if we can get this executive level umbrella over it all. You can have that unity without uniformity. So many of these groups will, if you don't believe the way I believe, then I don't want to work with you. In many cases, you have to apply Reagan's 80% rule. If you agree with a person on 80%, and you might disagree on 20, is the 20 worth sacrificing the other 80 where you do agree? It's learning how to be respectful of the other person. Because quite frankly, when you have that conversation and they start explaining back to you why they feel the way they do, that's where you get your keys to fight their argument. You can't fight their argument until they tell you why they believe what they believe. You know, they can say, well, I believe in smaller government. Well, okay, but what kind of smaller government? The smaller government based on biblical, typical Judeo-Christian principles on which the country was founded, or the secular, amoral government that doesn't even have any role in family, in relationships. So, we need to become skilled in that. But why would you, or why would you, or why would you? Because we're citizens. We have an obligation to this community, to the state, and to the nation as a citizen. Being a citizen is a blessing. Our liberty is a blessing, but none of it comes without obligations. That's the other side of the equation that's not getting enough talk out there. What are we obligated as citizens to do? Just show up and vote once a year? It's an individual thing. There is no one pat answer for it. It's whatever you're motivated to do. But I can also tell you that what you will do is largely determined by what you feel comfortable doing. And if you're the type of person that's comfortable walking up to a stranger and shaking a hand, you can probably sell vacuum cleaners. It's the same type of mentality. It's salesmanship. It's marketing. It's learning to move your message. All right, next, Jane.
Yeah, I'm also the I-Caucus State Director here in North Carolina, and you mentioned some folks like Dan Forrest and Mike Causey, and for instance, Mark Meadows. All of these folks are I-Caucus endorsed candidates, and if you are running for GOP chair or vice chair, what we are in the process of doing is we are inviting candidates to come and to go through our I-Caucus process. You mentioned the Conservatives for Guilford County. We have 20 I-Caucus affiliate groups, including the British Tea Party Patients. And for instance, those folks who serve on that board, they were part of those interviews that we did for candidates across the state. Out of the 21 candidates we had, we got more than 50% of those candidates elected. And we did it with no money, because many of them were promised money from the GOP, they never got it. So, you know, we really put a lot of effort on the ground, including Justice Paul Newby, who is an I-Caucus endorsed candidate. We've since gotten, I'll give an example, this week, this Thursday, we've got Dr. Greg Brannon, who is a conservative. He's going to be in Raleigh. They've already reached out to me he's already signed up for the process. So I am inviting you, if you want to run for GOP chair and you want this grassroots support across the state, to please contact us, and you know we can get you through that, and we can get even anybody who would like to participate in that interview. They can certainly join us. So you know I think it would be a very positive thing, you know, to do that, so we can get behind it.
I have a very mixed reaction to that. One, I appreciate the invitation. I sincerely do. I'm not sure that I understand the relevancy of my personal beliefs on issues as chairman or vice chairman, other than to say I fully support the platform as it is currently adopted and would work to keep from seeing it change. It's not as if I would be able to cast a vote in the legislature that could result in a change to that platform.
Yeah, I do, because what we do is we hold our elected officials accountable, even if they haven't gone through I-Caucus, like we're doing currently with Peter Brunstetter and this ridiculous bill that he has introduced. There are 4 principles, as you know, from the Tea Party. You know, we believe in limited government, fiscal responsibility, individual rights, and free markets. And we want to make sure that whoever we get in office, regardless of whether they are in the Republican Party, because we also nonpartisan, the Democrat, whatever, we invite them all to make sure that they understand and they will commit to the principles that we have signed on to. And another example is that we had one candidate who was running in the primary against Mark Meadows. He committed to certain principles, and we caught him not living up to those principles. And so it becomes a commitment to we the people, that you will adhere to those principles and you will not do or sell out the party or put party before us or the country. And that's what it is that we're looking at, a commitment that you are going to be making to us. So, you know, I'm going to put that out there to you. If you would like to go through that, that would be, you know, that'd be great.
It depends on how you define us. As I have said, if I am seen and known as anything, is that it is as a Republican with a successful track record of building strong working relationships with grassroots groups of all types. But to step up and be the leader of the party in North Carolina requires first allegiance to that party and the platform of that party and the processes of that party, duly adopted by the members through their delegates. It's the whole purpose of having a party. I have no problem making clear in any public forum the areas on which I would agree with those particular values. But to suggest that somehow I have allegiance to some other organization or group or goals would only cloud the issue. Okay. So,
Excuse me.
yes, ma'am.
I don't have a question, but I appreciate your response.
Thank you. Okay.
Check your watch, Mr. Hickauer.
This is an ongoing conversation. Again, in my booklets that are out there, on the flyers that are on your tables, I think it's got my email address, my phone number. I invite your correspondence, your phone calls. I'll be happy to talk with you at any time as we continue to pursue this. Jane and the folks over in Buncombe County are doing a great job, and his folks are going to talk to you in just, Glenn and his folks are going to talk to you in just a second about what they're doing. Please work with these people. We are not enemies. We're on the same side. We just may be fighting a little bit different slice, taking on a different slice of the pie, but we are all in this together. And so I thank you again for the opportunity to come up and be with you today.